Welcome to another episode of the Radium Girls. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Valerie.
Today we're bringing you a story about a massive grave.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. And small disclaimer, if we look sweaty or oily, sorry about it. I still don't have any AC. Hopefully soon we'll have some AC going. And if you hear a fan, like you hear a little humming sound, it's the fan blowing on us.
We need some air in here.
We need
some circulation.
Yeah, we need some circulation. So.
Okay, we got lights in here.
Yeah, these
lights things are running. It's hot.
Us talking our hot air.
Yeah. It's humid. It's
our
hot.
dogs sitting on our feet.
Right. Keeping my foot hot.
Yes. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
So let's get into today's story.
So, Harts Island was once private land owned by Thomas Pell. He purchased it from the area's Native Americans in 1654 and a barracks for Union soldiers during the Civil War. But like many of the islands surrounding New York City, it had eventually become a place for the socially undesirable. Wow, that's rude. How'd they get there?
To the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tells us, I'm pretty sure.
Once the federal government had no use for the island, it was purchased by New York City in 1868 for $75,000. A year later, an extension of the House of Refuge, a prison on Roosevelt Island, was established on Hart and was a workhouse for delinquent boys. The first civilian burial also took place that year, starting the precedent of using the land as a potter's field. In 1870, structures built on the southern tip of the island were used to treat victims of the yellow fever epidemic. A branch of the New York City Asylum for the Insane established a hospital for women on the island in 1885.
Just FYI, a potter's field is basically like a burial place for strangers.
For the socially undesirable? In 1904, a large institution called the Reformatory for Misdemeanants was built in the center of the island, accommodating about 2,000 boys toiling in the workhouses or out in the field burying the dead. Buildings on Hart would continue to be erected until as late as 1931, when the last structure, the chapel, was constructed. The Reformatory became a small city unto itself. I thought this place was small.
The island?
Yeah. Did it not say that? But just thinking that
it's fairly small.
It's
I don't think
a city, a small city unto itself.
It's not. I mean, I don't think it's said.
Okay.
We'll show a picture.
Became a small city unto itself with about 24 buildings connected with paved streets. It wasn't an easy place to live, as the city council investigation revealed. The boys would be subject to various tortures, such as kneeling for hours in a room called the cooler, being ordered to beat each other with clubs, and having to perform stand-up, which consisted of standing in a straight line for half of the night during a period of a few weeks. Oh.
Yeah.
Dang. Man, there's a lot of places like that like tortured children.
That's
back
sad.
in the day. What did I say about children?
You don't fuck with children.
You're talking about smart man.
So it sounds like we have a lot of stories that we can talk about one day.
Oh yeah. There's plenty. The island was described as a chaotic place, as the buildings would house inmates mixed with other people having mental illness, infectious diseases, substance abuse, and the homeless. The boys would often become sick from sharing towels, razors, and soap with residents infected with tuberculosis and other contagions. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. I guess you kind of have to, you know?
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta do what they tell you to do.
Man.
Harts Island was almost home to what would have been a very odd sight among the barred windows of the reformatory buildings. Solomon Riley, a black man who owned 4 acres of land on the southern tip, began building a park known as Negro Coney Island in 1925. He became wealthy by using his white wife's name to purchase property in predominantly white areas in Harlem and renting the apartments to blacks, and wanted to open an amusement park for his new tenants who were barred from the whites-only parks in Rye and Dobbs Ferry. With a dance hall, 8 boarding houses, a 200-foot boardwalk, and a bathing pavilion already constructed, reformatory officials cringed at the absurdity of this park surrounded by graves and miscreants. The city condemned the property to prevent the completion of the park, and Mr. Riley eventually sold the land to the city for $144,000.
Nice.
Can you imagine this whole island being sold for $144,000? Like, that's a house.
That's crazy.
This is a whole ass island.
Yeah, 1925. That's probably a lot of money, though.
I mean, yeah, it was probably a lot of money back then, but...
Yeah.
Escapes were not uncommon, even without the amusement park to aid in smuggling. Prisoners have managed to leave the island by swimming, climbing onto waiting motorboats, or even simply running over the ice in the winter to City Island.
God.
That's crazy that it iced over like that.
Well, they're up there, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But then, yeah, how far is it from City Island, you know? Like, they ran?
A prisoner named Joseph the Eel Farrell bragged that he swam to Long Island in 1919 and escaped once again to the Bronx in 1921.
Why would you go there? Wait, Long Island?
Huh?
Oh, so he escaped. Wait.
Yeah, he
To
swam to
Long Island.
Yeah, he swam to Long Island from Hart Island.
Hart Island, okay.
And then escaped again to Bronx in 1921. It's all over there, like New York, Bronx, like Harlem and stuff.
This kind of reminds me of that prison in
Alcatraz?
Alcatraz. I was like, Alakazam.
Alakazam.
They have people like trying to escape. Mm-hmm. In 1928, Hart Island was primarily an overflow facility for prisoner overcrowding, and during World War II, it was used as a disciplinary camp for over 2,000 Navy and Coast Guard troops. It would also serve as a prison for German soldiers arrested off the coast of Long Island. During the next few decades, the facilities on the island would focus on experimental pilot programs such as Tubercularium, the 6-point program for alcoholics, in 1952, and the Phoenix House for substance abuse in 1967. In 1955, a Nike missile launch site was constructed on the island to protect the city during the Cold War era. A multitude of graves were destroyed when the missile elevators were built, but no one knew who was in them. When Ebbets Field was torn down in 1960, the bleachers were donated to Hart Island, where they still remain, bolted to railroad ties from the dismantled 3rd Avenue elevated train. The Phoenix House was a product of a $3 million renovation of the workhouses funded by New York City in 1967. It proved to be a successful model program where former addicts could help others perform disciplined abstinence, but did not last long on the island itself. A last attempt to use the island for the living was made by the Department of Corrections in 1982 in an effort to discipline minor offenders with short-term, quality-of-life sentences. Trailers enclosed with razor wire would serve as a confinement for graffiti vandals, turnstile jumpers, small-time drug dealers, and the like. It failed due to the lack of convictions in municipal courts. And the area is now used for accommodating the burial detail and correction officers. I don't know. Would I want to be buried there?
Huh?
I don't know if I'd want to be buried there.
Well, no. Wait till you find out some more stuff about it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So far, this island has been basically like
torture.
Just it's
hell.
It's so much has happened on this island already so far. So you've got all these like tortured children that died, and, they'll just bury them there, and all these delinquents and stuff like that. Like, so much has happened on this island already, and it's been almost we're up to 100 years now, something like that, just over 100 years.
It should be called Hell Island.
Yeah, for real, not Harts Island.
No,
Hart Island.
Like, it sounds sweet, but no. Mm-mm. But doesn't have an E in the heart.
Yeah, HART. The primary focus of Hart Island has been a potter's field for the city from 1869 to the present day. The first burial was that of Louisa Van Slyke, a 24-year-old orphan who died at Charity Hospital and with no one to claim her body. The island has since become the largest tax-funded cemetery in the world, with over 1 million bodies buried over 101 acres.
101 acres. That's a lot.
It's not quite what the island's a little bit bigger than that. They haven't filled up the whole island. But
I was thinking tiny.
No, it's pretty big. I mean, if you look at it on the map, it's a pretty big island, but it's still small.
I don't know why I think island's like
small, like Hawaii has those little tiny ones
like
or
little
something.
bitty.
Yeah. Along with the unknown and indigent, the people buried here also may not have been able to afford a private funeral. A burial on Hart Island is vaguely defined as city burial. Unknown adults are buried in single plots and are the most often disinterred and identified using medical data from surviving relatives. Identified adults are in 3-section trenches of 48 bodies for easier disinterment. Their caskets are stacked 3 high and 2 across. So it's like 3 caskets on top of each other, like two side by side, and then 3. That's sad.
Mm-hmm. These were like known people, identified people.
Yeah. Children, mostly stillborn and infants, are buried in trenches of 1,000 bodies.
Dang.
As they're very rarely disinterred. But that means like...
Yeah, I was like, what does disinterred mean?
I think that means like...
known?
Dug up, yeah.
Oh.
Exhumed.
Oh.
So disinterred means exhumed, basically.
Does it though?
So like... Huh?
Do you know for sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just Googled that.
Oh.
You didn't see me Google
No.
it? Oh. It means dig up.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get a little more into that. There's a whole thing that coming for that. Their caskets, so this is talking about the children. Their caskets stack 5 high and 20 across, depending on the size.
I mean, at least I gave them caskets and then just throw them in there.
Right. That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
The first child to die of AIDS in New York City was buried in isolation on the southern tip of the island and was given a special gravestone marked SC-B1 1985. SC equals special child and B1 equals baby 1.
That's sad.
Yeah, extra precautions were taken to bury the child in a separate and deeper grave.
Dang.
The AIDS grave seemed like a tomb to an unknown child. It came to represent all children who were yet to die of AIDS, as well as child victims of earlier epidemics.
Dang.
So, yeah, so there were actually 16 other AIDS victims who were buried in the 1980s on the southern half of the island under 14 feet of soil as an added precaution.
Dang,
so
they thought it was like Ebola or something.
Yeah, they're like burying these people so far deep and like so far away from everybody else because it's like they're treating it like Ebola or the Black Plague or something like that. They but I mean, I guess not much was really known about their transmission of AIDS back then. But
they thought it was like something crazy.
Amputated body parts are also buried on the island in boxes labeled limbs. This story really takes a dark turn. I mean, it's been dark this whole time. You've got a lot of really dark stuff happening on this island, but just to have like people that had to be amputated, their arms, legs, whatever, for whatever reason, because you had a lot of illness and stuff like this, and just throw it in a box.
Labeled limbs. Okay.
Unidentified limbs.
Unidentified limbs. Ugh. So Bobby Driscoll, the Disney child actor, is one of the notable people buried in Hart Island. Driscoll was the voice of Peter Pan in the animated film and starred in Disney's Song of the South. You like that movie, right?
Song of the South?
Peter Pan?
Oh, yeah, I love Peter Pan.
The boy who never slept.
The boy who never grew up.
Remember in
They sleep.
the drunk episode, the house kept saying that didn't he not sleep or something? Because like I never really watched it.
I don't remember you saying that.
You don't? Because you were talking about Tinkerbell, and then we're talking about like Peter Pan. And I said,
"Oh yeah,
he never slept." And you're like,
okay.
He never grew up.
To finish the episode. That's funny. That's right.
He died unknown, thought to be homeless, so he was taken there. What? Wow.
It's like if you're homeless, if you're an orphan, nobody's here to claim your body, this is where you go. Back in the day, like if you lived around New York and the surrounding areas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. They're like, we don't have a cemetery over here, so just...
Yeah.
I wonder, do they have cemeteries over there? Because like, it's packed over there.
Well, there's cemeteries and stuff. It's probably like more
outer.
like mausoleums.
Oh.
Like the above ground stuff like that. I'm sure they've got some areas where they can do in the ground. But I think it's mostly like if you don't get cremated, you're going to go in like one of those tombs, like those mausoleum type things.
Maybe like on the outskirts or something.
Yeah, probably that. But but this Harts Island was city funded.
Yeah.
So if they were to try to be buried in New York or wherever, those aren't city funded. You have to pay for a plot there. Mm-hmm. But if nobody's there to claim your body, you can't afford a plot. I mean, you're dead.
Yeah.
And, you know, they don't have a way to get a hold of your money because they don't know who you are.
I can't believe he died unknown. That was crazy. Yeah. I wonder, like, how they found out it was him. Does it say?
No, I'm sure it's, you know, probably somebody might have recognized
But did they exhume it to whatever they were saying?
I can't remember, honestly.
They probably did, and they were like, holy shit, it's Peter Pan.
It's Peter Pan.
It's Peter Pan. The island takes in about 1,500 bodies a year, and there is a constant struggle to find more burial space. I bet it is, man.
Yeah.
In the past, the trenches were reused after 25 to 50 years of decomposition. Workers would dig up the decayed remains and toss aside any remaining bones to make room for the pine boxes. You might as well just stop putting them in boxes now.
Yeah.
Trench it and...
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. This practice has ended, but now there's less room. Abandoned but historic buildings are being torn down to make more space for the new burials. The grisly work of the trenching is performed by Rikers Island inmates, given a 50-cent an hour wage and under close supervision by DOC officers. 50 cents an hour to dig a trench. Wow. Single ferry operated by the New York City Department of Transportation services the island, departing from Fordham Street on City Island, where a morgue truck carries the bodies to be buried in simple pine boxes. Y'all just wasting trees at this point. Dang.
Well, they do that because they might exhume them at some point.
They ain't exhuming nobody. They're letting it decompose and then they're throwing it away.
Man.
How are you gonna like find out where that person is?
They have records
of where they put them.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Accessing records is a difficult and sometimes impossible task. Trench numbers were bizarrely duplicated and changed over the years, making identifying the plots difficult. Records were stored on handwritten ledgers, many of which had been destroyed in a 1977 fire, where about 25,000 people were forgotten. Even after the fire, records were still kept on one handwritten ledger on the island until recently. The paperwork is often illegible or improperly photocopied, which obliterates access to thousands of burial records. Melinda Hunt, an artist who started photographing the toppled grave markers in the early 1990s, started amassing a database that is considered more complete than official records, made through a Freedom of Information Act request. She has also published a book called Harts Island and produced a film called Harts Island, An American Cemetery. All of that information can be found at the Harts Island Project website. I highly recommend, if you're interested, to go on there because you can navigate around the island and click on like actual burial plots where people were buried, and it'll give you like their name and how old they were, if they have that information. Some of them says like it's a female, like this one says female fetus. That's
Dang.
So sad. And some of them don't have the age and how long they've long they've been buried there. Like these have only been buried there for a year.
Fetus.
Another male
What
fetus.
The heck?
These have been buried for 34 years and so on. So,
crazy.
Highly recommend going to check it out. It's called hartisland.net. HARTISLAND.net. Highly recommend going and checking that out.
Access to the island is extremely restricted. Relatives can visit but must be accompanied by a corrections officer, and are very restricted to where they are able to go. Cell phones, cameras, and the press are banned from the island. Getting caught on Harts Island is considered trespassing on prison property and carries a sentence of 2 years in prison. Efforts are being made to transfer the property from the Department of Corrections to the Parks Department. Parks and Rec? I can just see that as an episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly loosen some of the visitor restrictions. In 2018, erosion of the shoreline has exposed the bones of the dead, and New York City has invested $13 million to backfill and reinforce these areas.
Mm-hmm. So, this is quite interesting. So when COVID hit, they used Hart Island.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
New York,
I can see that.
Their morgues, they just, earlier in this episode, we told you that they were having like 1,500 a year.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that what it said?
Yeah.
They had like 1,500 bodies coming to the island per year. When COVID hit, it was about 2,000 per day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the morgues were overfilled. You know, they were not designed to house that many people. And, you know, you have all these homeless people living in New York. Mm-hmm. You have all these other people, like, you know, not knowing that their relatives, maybe they're in New York staying for college or moved there for business or something like that. So their family are out of state and they don't have any immediate relatives. All those people were transferred to Hart Island in like refrigerator type trucks.
I was going to say, I knew this guy that was doing the nursing over there. Like, you know, they got paid to go over there.
The travel nursing?
Yeah. He would say that the people that died, they just put them in like the ice trucks.
Yeah. And they'd take them to Hart Island.
That's insane. Yeah.
They'd take them to Hart Island. And so they actually did start exhuming some of the bodies so that like once COVID kind of slowed down a little bit, they started exhuming some of the bodies whenever like families and relatives would come, and they'd have like, of course they kept records and tags of each person, where they took them and where they buried them in the plot. Let's say they might have their ID on them, so they were able to ID the body, but you know, had no other way of contacting next of kin or something like that. So they did start to exhume some of the bodies so they can be transferred back home. I think there was a story about this Ohio family who had their like maybe daughter or son living in New York who passed away from COVID, and they had no idea. They just knew, you know, they couldn't get a hold of them. And so they eventually made it to New York and found out, unfortunately, that they had passed and their body was on Hart Island. Yeah. But there's still so many bodies there from COVID. So it's crazy. It's like Hart Island is just a mass grave. It's a mass grave. And it's said to be the most haunted island ever.
And bones. Things made of bones now.
Oh, the island?
Yeah. They're right on the roof. It's all bones now.
It's not soil anymore. It's just bone marrow.
Why would you choose an island to bury people in? It's just asking for all the wrong things to go wrong.
Yeah. It's just like a landfill, you know, like a garbage, whatever you take garbage and stuff. Like.
At least that's on land.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can you imagine what that island probably also smells like?
Ew,
or smelled like at some point? Like when all those bodies were going over there? Oh, God.
Mm-mm.
That's so sad.
That is sad.
Well, that's the story of Hart Island. You know, the mass grave at Mass Cemetery.
Did not even know this was a thing.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I believe my mom submitted this. Shout out to my mom.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Getting that knowledge.
Yeah. So let us know if you knew about Hart Island and if you have any additional info that you'd like to share that we did not cover. I did research on it a lot, but I felt like this was kind of the main points there. That island has been through hell and back.
They just need to do away with it.
I wouldn't mind going there and visiting and seeing how haunted
ain't even gonna let you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They are trying to relax that, but you have to pretty much have to have. Oh, there was something that we didn't talk about. Excuse me. Here's a picture. So this was like back in the day. Got several pictures. These are the workers. You know, you can see the bodies. I mean, whatever. This is what it looks like now. These are more like modern.
Those markers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might as well tear down the buildings.
For real.
It's taken over.
Yep. These are, of course, the older ones.
Surprised they even have those.
Oh, this is what I was going to talk about. So, like, when you're able to go there, they have like this viewing pavilion, and it's got like a plaque or whatever that kind of tells you where certain graves and stuff are, but you cannot go past it. We'll post a picture of that pavilion, but you can't go anywhere past this. They have like peep guards and stuff, and you can see there's rope showing you, but that's the only place you can go.
Dang.
Here's that plaque it shows. There's another one.
I wonder, like, why are they guarding it so hard? Like, why are they guarding it so hard? There's, like, bones poking out everywhere or something.
I don't know.
All it said is because of prison. It was, like, a prison's place or whatever.
Yeah, well.
Prison property.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
They probably, I was going to say, they probably don't want people, like, finding some, bones. I don't know. It's weird.
Limbs. Boxes of limbs.
Yeah.
So if they're known, why are they there?
The bodies?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the COVID, especially when COVID hit.
Before COVID. If it was a known person.
Delinquents and, people that were sick and stuff like that. And if their family, that was another thing I read, that if their family didn't have money to purchase a grave, they had no choice. This was a city funded, they funded that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it also said, like, some maps will not show it.
Oh.
Yeah, Harts Island is not on some maps. I know I looked at a lot more.
It's their little dark secret.
Yeah.
They need to do something about that, though.
Yeah, so
I don't know where to put them, but...
That's the topic for today.
We just had, like, a hurricane, like... Was that after? I can't say after. Corona, we're still in it.
COVID? Yeah, there was, There was...
It was during?
It was just not long ago, because, in Louisiana?
No,
Texas,
in New York.
Houston. Oh, New York?
Yeah, New York had one.
That was
recent.
Last year, I think.
Was it last year? Yeah. So, I wonder what happened then.
This past hurricane season, I think.
Because a lot of people got flooded.
Flooding.
They're probably just bones everywhere.
Yeah, my stomach's...
I know where I used to live, when the hurricanes come, a lot of the caskets will come out.
Yeah, that's in Louisiana too.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know telling what happened over there.
Yeah, that's why they bury them. That's why they bury them above ground too.
Who?
Like in Louisiana, you'll see a lot of graves above ground because the ground will soften and
especially
it'll rise.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans. Mm-hmm.
So, do we have a question of the day?
We do. Okay. What was the funniest way that you have ever been injured?
Do you want to do yours first? Because yours happened first, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You should do yours first.
So, I'm trying to remember what I was doing, because I know I was a little tipsy.
Well, you did yours twice, didn't you?
The first time was bad. Yeah, I did.
You
did. My God.
You sandwiched me.
I sandwiched you.
You sandwiched me.
Okay, so in late 2019, I rolled my foot dancing around the house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot how you did it.
I can't remember what I was like, the situation was while I was dancing. I know I had been drinking, but I was just dancing around and just came down on the side of my foot and rolled it. And like, this is my foot. This whole side over here was just black and blue. My foot was so swollen. I couldn't wear shoes for like a couple weeks. It was pretty like tennis shoes or anything that would cover my foot. I had to wear like sandals, and even still sandals hurt.
Yeah.
But at work we can't wear flip flops, so I had to I think I wore Converse one day and I had to take them off while I was sitting there. It was bad. That was pretty funny though. I laughed so hard. I was like, it hurts so bad, but I can't stop laughing. It was so funny.
God, yes.
You did the same thing, right?
You want to sandwich me?
Yeah, I'll sandwich you.
Okay. So, on my 30th birthday,
30
last year,
in 2021.
In 2021, we had a little, 30-30 party. We were outside playing flip cup, okay? So, I wasn't even drunk at this point. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the birthday party. So, we won, and I'm like, yeah, to do like a little happy foot dance. Rolled my ankle, hit the ground.
She just stayed there.
I just stayed there and just laughed and died.
Yeah.
And then, it just hurt. the whole night. I just remember being drunk and complaining, my foot hurts. I remember complaining to you, my foot hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she would lean and...
Yes. But yeah, it was the same. My whole freaking side of the foot was black and blue.
Yours went up to the top of your foot too,
yeah,
right?
like all my toes and then like all the way back. Like some on the other side. I don't know. The happy feet did not help me.
No.
Had sad feet.
Sad feet.
But that hurt for like months.
Yeah.
It was months.
Yeah, mine hurt for months after as well.
Because y'all kept bitching at me.
Yeah. I thought I broke something.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you thought you broke something.
Well, Essence kept telling me to go to the doctor.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's
nah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Like, it's been months.
It's bad. Foot injuries that are bad.
Especially you gotta use them.
Yes. I hurt my foot again, and this one's more recent. New Year's.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night drinking champagne. That's pretty much all I was drinking was champagne, and I got pretty wasted, and I don't remember what happened. My boyfriend could probably tell you, but I can't. I don't know. I just fell. I fell. I remember falling into the wall and hitting my head, and I know that I fell, and I think that's what happened. I was like maybe reaching down to like brace myself on the chair to turn around and sit, but I missed, and
these
fell
ankles
into my
deceive
head.
us.
I don't know. I rolled. I think that was the other foot.
Man,
It might have been the same foot, but it hurt for months too.
these ankles be weak.
They are weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the funniest way I've been injured. Other than my cheerleading accident, whenever I tried to do a round off and my arm just gave out and I cracked my shoulder, but I told you guys that story.
Mostly injuries are not funny.
Yeah. I definitely laughed on the first roll of my ankle. I didn't laugh on I probably did laugh on the second one. I was drunk enough.
Man.
So what's the funniest way that you've been injured? I'm really curious to hear what some of these stories can be.
Yeah, just watch your ankles.
Yeah, be careful. I had to wear an ankle brace after this last one. It hurt for a long time.
God.
Long time.
Like, I don't know what it is. My ankles, man.
I have another funny one.
Oh, God, what?
I might have told this story, too, but I hurt my knee when I worked at Sonic years ago. Maybe like 2009, I think. 2008, somewhere around there. But, so if you've never been inside Sonic, you know, they got those double doors. You come in, and then it's got like a long table. Right when you walk in, we had like all of our condiments and stuff under that table so we could, you know, run in, grab something, and run out. And then on top of that table is where all the trays were with the different orders. And then behind that is like the fountain area where they're making your drinks, they're making the ice cream, and then you go to the back side of Sonic. That's how ours was set up. And then the answer boards were over here. So, I don't know. I was a flirt back then and having a good time, you know, trying to impress people. I don't know, maybe the customers that would come, and there were several guys that would come up there just to see me, and you know, I was a flirt, whatever. But so I didn't like to run back Sonic. That was a thing. Like if you ran, you get extra tips, but you're supposed to run. But I didn't like to. I just, you know, whatever. But I felt like running this time. Little did I know they had just started washing the floors inside. And when they do that, it gets really slick. Mm-hmm. Very, very slick. I don't remember if I told you guys this story. I'm sorry if I did. If you didn't hear it, then cool. But so yeah, I ran inside and I go straight underneath that table that when you first go in, it's got all the condiments there. And I like grab myself, and so some condiments are falling down on me. But my one leg goes under the table, the other one stays back. Oh. I don't do the splits, but because my knee is bent. So I land like my knee's like this, and this other leg is straight out like this. So I'm like this, but it's like this. It gets jolted backwards. Yeah, I bruised my bone. That's what the doctor said. I bruised my bone.
Ouch.
It hurt, but it was so funny. I was laughing so hard. I stood up and I was like, I can't walk. Yeah. Hold on. This hurts a little more than I think it does. I can't walk. Mm-mm. Yeah.
I have a workplace injury one.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was this arm. I think it's finally going away. I had like a burn. So we put our pizzas on like that metal pan, and then we had that wooden thing that you can get it out with at the oven. So I got it out, And then when I like kind of like tossed it kind of to like make it come further back, and went too far back and hit my arm. And the chef and the sous chef was standing right there like talking to each other, and I went, phew. I threw the pizza right between them.
Oh my god.
Pizza fresh out of the oven. They looked at me like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, it burned me. But I was like, oh, that shit hurt.
Damn.
But I thought that was funny because like they were just standing there talking, and then a freaking pizza goes flying between them. I'm glad I didn't hit any of them though, even though they're wearing like protective clothing kind of. But it still would have been hot.
Yeah, it would have been hot. Yeah. That's crazy.
I just remember it freaking landed on my arm, and I was like freaked out, and I just threw it. Freaking toss a damn pizza.
Damn. That's so funny. Do you have any workplace funny injuries?
Yeah. Got some bad ones too. All right, guys. So that was our episode. My hands just farted. I don't know if you heard that.
My hands just farted.
I can't hear it, so I felt it.
I didn't hear it, but I can't hear shit. My hands are
sweaty. Hands are sweaty. Mouth's flicking. Okay. So if you enjoyed this episode, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, do whatever you want to do, subscribe, comment. You can leave us a comment on YouTube or Facebook. You can email us, whatever you want to do. You know, all the information will be down below. Leave us some topics if you'd like so that we can do them, and our listener submissions.
Summer's almost here, y'all. Actually, wait. This will be...
Summer is here right now.
I got something for them. It's almost Memorial Day, you guys. So everybody be safe out there.
Be safe.
You know, if you're going boating, please remember boat safety.
Don't drink and drive.
Safety. Do not drink and drive. If you drink and swim, please wear a life jacket. Unless you're like in... No, still wear a life jacket.
Wear your life jackets. Follow the rules.
Yes.
And the laws. Go in groups of 2. Don't get murdered.
Don't get murdered. Just be careful, okay? Just be safe out there, especially if you're like a teenager and you're out of school and you're excited and all this stuff. Summer's here.
Stay safe.
Congratulations to any seniors that may be listening. You made it.
You made it.
You made it. I don't know if you've graduated just yet when we're putting this out. Probably not, but yeah.
So stay curious, but stay safe.
Yeah.
Don't get too curious. Because curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
So just a little curious.
I'm excited about next week's episode, you guys.
What's next week's episode?
Barbara. It's going to be a special treat for all you visual people out there watching our YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not
Go
painting
watch our videos.
Yeah, I won't be painting during it, but it'll be...
I know you like hearing our beautiful voices, but you should go check out the videos because we put pictures, we make awesome faces, and we look cute.
Yeah. Yeah. And you may see me give Val a weird face every now and then.
And you might even see a little puppy dog.
Yeah. The cutest.
That's worth it. So, thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay curious.